Hello everyone! Our topic for this video is Introduction to Integers. Let's start with the activity, what's the opposite? We have the words is, above, up, cold, falling, withdraw, forward, left, heaven, and failure. So from this word, let's identify their opposite. For the word is, the opposite is west. For the word above, the opposite is below. For the word up, the opposite is down. For the word cold, the opposite is hot. For the word falling, the opposite is rising. For the word withdraw, the opposite is deposit. For the word forward, the opposite is backward. For the word left, the opposite is right. For the word heaven, the opposite is hell. And for the word failure, the opposite is success. Let's represent the words as positive and negative. So for number 1, is represent as positive, west is negative. For number 2, above is positive, below is negative. For number 3, up is positive, down is negative. For number 4, cold is positive, hot is negative. For number 5, falling is negative, rising is positive. For number 6, withdraw is negative, deposit is positive. For number 7, forward is positive, backward is negative. For number 8, left is negative, right is positive. For number 9, heaven is positive, hell is negative. And for number 10, failure is negative, success is positive. Now, let's represent the opposites using the following situation. Number 1, 3 kilometer is. From the situation, the word is means positive. The representation is positive 3. The opposite is west, so we have 3 kilometer west. Therefore, this is negative. The representation is negative 3. Next, 4 steps forward. From the situation, the word forward means positive. The representation is positive 4. The opposite is backward, so we have 4 steps backward. Therefore, this is negative. The representation is negative 4. Next, we have 3 feet below. From the situation, the word below means negative. The representation is negative 3. The opposite is above. So we have 3 feet above. Therefore, this is positive. So the representation is positive 3. Next, 5 hours late. From the situation, the word late is negative. Therefore, the representation is negative 5. The opposite is advance. So we have 5 hours advance. The representation is positive 5. Then we have 7 steps down. From the situation, the word down is negative. So the representation is negative 7. The opposite is up. So we have 7 steps up. The representation is positive 7. Now, let's move on to number line. Number line is composed of 0, positive numbers on the right side, negative numbers on the left side. In number line, we have positive 1 and negative 1, 3 and negative 3. They are what we call opposites or additive inverse. Number line tells us which number has a greater value. Of course, the number to the right are always greater than the number to the left. Next is integers. Integers are positive and negative numbers including 0. So in integers, 0 is neither positive nor negative. So hindi siya positive, hindi din siya negative. And non-zero number without a sign means positive. And integers is also called as sign numbers. Now, let's compare integers. So in the number line, the one to the right is always greater than the one to the left. Example, we have 6 is greater than 1. Of course, 6 is on the right, 1 is on the left. So 6 is greater than 1. Next, we have 0 is greater than negative 2. Of course, 0 is on the right side and negative 2 is on its left side. So we have 0 is greater than negative 2. Next, we have negative 1 is less than 0. So 0 is on the right side. That's why negative 1 is less than 0. Next is negative 5 is less than negative 1. We have negative 1 is on the right side and negative 5 is on the left side. So we have negative 5 is less than negative 1. Okay, let's try compare the following integers using the symbols less than or greater than. Number 1, 9 blank negative 12. So the answer is greater than. 9 is greater than negative 12. Next is negative 13 blank negative 6. So the answer is less than. Negative 13 is less than negative 6. Next number is negative 8 and negative 18. So the answer is greater than. Negative 8 is greater than negative 18. Next is negative 6 and 0. The answer is less than. Negative 6 is less than 0. Next number is 1 and 14. So we have less than. 1 is less than 14. Next is 3 and negative 2. So the answer is greater than. 3 is greater than negative 2. Next is 4 and 0. The answer is greater than. 4 is greater than 0. And the last one is negative 9 and negative 12. The answer is greater than, so therefore negative 9 is greater than negative 12. Ordering of integers. First, we have the ascending order or increasing order. The arrangement is from least to greatest. Example, let's arrange the following in ascending order. So the givens are 5, negative 1, 8, negative 4, 2, and 1. So the first number or the least number is negative 4. Then we have negative 1. Then we have positive 1, positive 2, positive 5, and positive 8. Okay, next. We have the sets 0, 6, negative 7, 3, negative 4, and negative 1. We will start with the least number, negative 7. We have negative 4, negative 1, 0, 3, 6. Next, we have negative 2, 5, negative 3, 1, negative 10, and negative 6. So the least number is negative 10, and then negative 6, negative 3, negative 2, positive 1, and positive 5. Then we have the descending order or decreasing order. The arrangement is from greatest to least number. Now let's arrange the following in descending order. Example, we have 4, -2, -6, 5, 2, and -1. So the greatest value is positive 5, then positive 4, positive 2, -1, -2, and -6. Next, we have the numbers 8, 5, -6, 3, -5, and 0. Starting with number 8 or positive 8, positive 5, positive 3, 0, -5, and -6. Absolute value. What is the absolute value? The absolute value of a number is the distance between that number and 0, and it is denoted by the symbol of 2 bars. Okay? Example, we have absolute value of positive 3 that is equal to 3. This is read as the absolute value of 3 is 3, or the absolute value of positive 3 is positive 3. Next, we have the absolute value of -3 is equal to positive 3. This is read as the absolute value of -3 is positive 3. Next, negative absolute value of positive 3 is -3. The negative sign is outside the absolute value symbol, so this is read as the negative absolute value of 3 is -3. Now, what is the distance of 3 from 0? So let's count from 0 going to number 3. So we have 0 to 1, 1 step, 1 to 2, 2 steps, and 2 to 3, 3 steps. So the distance of 3 from 0 is 3. Next, what is the distance of -3 from 0? So again, let's count from 0 going to -3. So 0 to -1, 1 step, 1 to -2, 2 steps, 2 to -3, 3 steps. So we also have 3. So we are talking about distance, so that is absolute value. So we have absolute value of positive 3 is equal to 3. Absolute value of -3 is also equal to 3. As we get the absolute value of positive and -3, they have the same answer. So remember, the absolute value of a number is the distance between that number and 0, and it is never negative. Now let's try. Let's have number 1. What is the absolute value of -14? So that is positive 14. How about number 2? What is the absolute value of positive 5? So that is positive 5. Number 3. What is the absolute value of positive 13? So that is positive 13. Number 4. What is the absolute value of -8? That is positive 8. Number 5. What is the absolute value of -11? That is positive 11. Next, let's have number 6. We have negative absolute value of -12. The negative sign is before the absolute value symbol, so we have -12. Number 7, we have negative absolute value of 5, that is -5. Number 8, we have absolute value of 0, so that is 0. Then number 9, negative absolute value of negative 6, we have negative 6. And number 10, negative absolute value of negative 10 is equal to negative 10. Now, let's have absolute value with operation. So, number 1 is absolute value of 5 plus 4. So, before we simplify, let's perform first the operation inside the absolute value. So 5 plus 4, that is equal to 9. So let's have absolute value of 9. So we have 9 as the final answer. Next, we have absolute value of 13 minus 5. 13 minus 5 is 8. So we have absolute value of 8. And then absolute value of 8 is equal to positive 8. Next, absolute value of negative 15 minus absolute value of negative 5. Get first the absolute value of negative 15, then negative 5. So we have 15 minus 5, that is equal to 10. Next, we have absolute value of 4 plus 7 minus absolute value of 9 minus 3. Solve first absolute value of 4 plus 7. So we have absolute value of 11, that is equal to 11, and then absolute value of 9 minus 3. 9 minus 3, of course, is 6, and its absolute value is positive 6. So we have 11 minus 6, the answer is 5. Next, we have absolute value of 12 minus 5 plus absolute value of 7 minus 4. So let's solve first 12 minus 5, that is 7. Then absolute value of 7 is 7. Next is 7 minus 4. 7 minus 4 is 3, and its absolute value is 3. So we have 7 plus 3. The answer is 10. So that is for today's video. Don't forget, if you learn math, you love math.